Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Fernanda Paiva Hitchhiking Stars, and today is Transits Friday. So it's the day that I look into the sky to think about what is the best that we can do during this week. So reminding you, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. I work with constructive, modern, psychological astrology. So I'm thinking more in terms of how can we use the energies to manifest the kind of life that we want to manifest, rather than focusing on the negatives and all the things that can go wrong. So this is the perspective that we're going to be having for this week's forecast. And what am I going to be talking about? Two planets moving signs. So we've got Pluto going back to Capricorn. We've got Mercury moving into Gemini as well. And we also have the moon activating a very important special aspect as well that we've been having this whole June. So we'll look into that. I'm going to share my screen and show, day by day as per. And before I do that, how have you all been? I mean, I love to do my little Fridays catch-ups as well and think about how the previous week has been. So I think I am very much aligned with the lunar cycles, and my personal cycle, menstrual cycle, is very much aligned as well with the new moon. So I'm kind of at the end of a cycle as well, heading towards a new moon as we are in the sky. And I think there is that element of tiredness that's being very present for me this week. So physical tiredness, and is really crazy how different we look as well throughout the month. So I don't know if you've noticed as well how the change of hormones kind of change the way that you look, the way that your hair look, the way that your skin look, and everything. So tell me, how's your experience with that as well? I definitely noticed that myself quite a lot. The more I'm working in the sort of conscious cycles, the more I'm noticing all of that. So anyhow, it's been a tiring week, but I'm still in Hazelmere here in the UK, and it's a really beautiful area, I have to say. I'm very, very close to woodlands, like a forest area. And again, if you're new to my channel, I am house sitting in the United Kingdom now, so I'm sort of moving. I travel quite a bit. I've been traveling for a few years as well, and I think the name Hitchhiking Stars kind of came from that as well. So yeah, I'm near these beautiful woodlands, and I absolutely love trees. I think pine trees are my favorite. So enough with the catch up from my side. I don't think I have much more to share on the personal level, but please write down in the comments, if you've got anything to share, anything that you're feeling as well this week, or that you've noticed in particular. How was the full moon for you? Excuse me. Did you have any kind of big information download, because I was thinking that this full moon definitely had that kind of signature of the Sagittarius and the Gemini kind of, picking up on information and all of that. Actually, in fact, with the full moon, I need to mention that I did get loads of new subscribers since my Uranus video that came out on Monday, and thank you for everyone that's been writing very appreciative comments. It's been very different from when Mars and Pluto was in opposition, and I had some like negative, horrible comments. I mean, horrible. I think I'm a bit sensitive, but I had some negative, like upsetting comments. And this week, where we had the full moon with the Gemini and the Sagittarius, I just had really lovely comments and very positive ones. And so thank you all very much and welcome. And I hope that you can find a lot of value and useful information here. It would make my Virgo very happy and honored as well. So let's move on with the astrology of this week. So I have to say, on the note of what's happening astrologically this week, is a great week to start unwinding. Yeah, we had a busy week before the full moon. We had an intensity with the full moon as well, of downloading information and all of the busyness of mutable signs with that sun in Gemini and the moon in Sagittarius as well. Now, as we head towards the new moon more and more, I mean, we're sort of coming to the last quarter. The moon is in Pisces, the sun is in Gemini, so I think the last quarter will be tomorrow, more precisely on Saturday. I think is the time when we start unwinding. If we align ourselves with this lunar cycle, it's a great time to start unwinding, digesting, dissecting, and sort of integrating I think that's the word I'm looking for, integrating the energies that came up during the full moon and previously as well with the first quarter. So a great week for unwinding, resting. This is one of the keynotes, I think, from this week. And getting ready to the new moon, right? So we have a new moon in Gemini on the 18th of June. So in a week, over a week time. But it's like, if we know then that's coming up, is the time that we unwind, we release, we integrate the things that happen during this lunar cycle, and we start already pondering on what sort of intentions we want to put in the new moon in Gemini, right? I'm not going to be talking about the new moon this week because it's happening next week, so I'm going to leave it to next Friday's video. But the exercise for this week, if you're interested, the exercise for this week is pondering, reflecting, maybe more mindfulness. If you do practice any kind of mindfulness, mindful walking and etc. So you can really start preparing the ground, like harvesting and integrating the fruits that came up during the full moon last week, and getting yourself ready for the new moon, for the new seeds that you're gonna put into the ground. So this is kind of the feeling there. This is Saturday, so that's when we have the last quarter of the moon. So the moon in Pisces, and the sun in Gemini there as well. And so here we have, in fact, yeah. So on Sunday is the two planetary shifts I said I wanted to talk about. So Mercury is moving to Gemini, and Pluto is popping back into Capricorn. So all of you Capricorn people, or people that have a strong Capricorn in the chart in the late degrees, that transit from Pluto is going to pick up again. Yeah, so you're having a Pluto transiting over your ascendant, over your natal sun or your natal moon, whatever it is. Now on Sunday, when Pluto pops back, not that it wasn't in orb with Pluto at 0 Aquarius, but I do often feel that when it goes back to the sign and to degree closer to our personal planets, there are our personal points in our charts, I think there is a stronger feeling there. There's something that comes up. Because it's retrograde as well, I think is a kind of a revisioning or reassessing, is a potential to reassess what's going on, potential to look into the process that you're sort of going through with this Pluto transit. And with the Gemini there, Mercury in Gemini, Mercury is everything that has to do with our minds, with how we communicate, what we think about, and the choices of words will be connected with Mercury. So Mercury shifting into Gemini there is a shift on our thoughts and our communication pace as well. I think going from the slow moving Taurus into the fast paced, restless Gemini throws an emphasis on the Gemini season as well. So I think that's kind of happening this weekend as well. There's kind of an emphasis there, an emphasis in like extroverted energy as well. So we got the Mercury in Gemini, and we got Venus and Mars in Leo, the moon shifting to Aries as well. So there's a kind of a get out of your shell, speak up, speak your truth, etc. It could be highlighting as well this Plutonic transformations that we're going through. Find out where Pluto is in your chart by transit. Where is it? What's transiting as well? Because you can gain insights from it with that Mercury trine Pluto on Sunday. And this could represent a kind of a, new ideas there and new internal parts communicating with each other as well. Gemini talks about duality, inner duality. So it could be reflective of that as well. But, great time to do Gemini things as well, I think. And and honor the Gemini season with that Mercury also moving into Gemini. My third subject, the third thing I wanted to say about this week is the moon in Taurus. So I think between Tuesday and Wednesday, so between the 13th and the 14th, we have a kind of an extra gift there, or an extra activation of that Jupiter North Node conjunction in Taurus. So again, giving us an extra boost in the process of growth, realizing something important about our values, you know, becoming more aware of our values, and all the Taurian things. If you're curious, I've done a whole video about the North Node in Taurus, and it's like jam-packed with information. So if you want to have a look and have a bit of a brainstorm on what these opportunities with Jupiter on the North Node could be reflective of, this is a great opportunity for you to have a look. So I think that moon will definitely bring that energy or accelerate that energy a bit more. But in terms of the rest of the week, I mean, we have a Mercury Saturn square here, perhaps being a little bit more cautious with our communication as well. Here, you know, is a day where there can be some miscommunications with a Mercury Saturn, especially with a boss or with an authority figure, you know, Mercury Saturn there. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I think that's a kind of an eventful week in terms of the astrology, which means is a great time to relax or to find that pace, to align yourself with your natural pace as well this week. Enjoy a good book with that Mercury moving into Gemini. And yeah, next Friday we'll have a moon joining into Gemini as well, but it will come to conjoin that sun on the 18th, which is the new moon. But we'll talk about new moon next week. You know, there's no need to talk about it now. So this is it. This is what I had to say about this week. I hope that's useful. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling, how your week going, or if you have any plans as well. What do you think about all of that? All of that's being shared. And take care of yourself. Have a wonderful weekend. And next Monday, I'm going to be putting out a video about Neptune. So next week will be Neptune. I haven't done a Neptune yet. So let's hope I'm not going to be too confused. Which is a typical Neptune. No. Okay, jokes aside. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all next week. Bye for now.